Okay, so I'm gonna show you something. In my last video, I was talking about this thief that was combining wells and also teleportation with infiltrator strike. So basically, what it is that you're gonna use one of these spells. If you look carefully, there's a different timer. If you look carefully, there's a different delay before it is casted. So Well of Bounty does half a second before it is casted. So I'm gonna show you. See, it took half a second before it cast, right? You saw that. This one, it takes 3/4 second. So it's a little bit longer, as you can see over here. See? Wait, I'm just gonna kill this guy. So the same thing with this guy, 3¼ seconds. So the delay before it is cast, it is long. And the reason why I say this is because you need to calculate the time it takes before it is casted before you press sword number 2. You cannot press sword number 2 anytime. You need to press it before it is casted, almost like a microsecond before it is executed. You know what I mean? So if I click it right now, you have to wait a little bit, and then you need to target like this guy over here, for example. So I'm gonna put my mouse over here, right? Watch carefully, like this. There you go. See that? So some of you is gonna say, is that legit or not legit? Well, look, when you cast a well, first of all, it's 600 range. And the reason it's 600 range because you're not supposed to cast it further than 600 range, right? So technically what happened is if I use this, which is 900 range, and you calculate plus 600 range, I can actually go all the way, like say over here. Like I could go over here. From here, I could actually teleport to you along with the Well of Bounty or Well of Sorrow or whichever well, right? And the reason why it's 600 range is because they want you to go closer to the target. So the target, you know, we're talking about PvP, so if the other player can have the chance to actually get to you, right? But if you go further like this, and if you can use this even at this distance, it's called like an exploit. It's kind of like unfair because you're altering, modifying a spell that is not supposed to be modified. Now you're going to say, yeah, but Anet doesn't say anything. Well, the fact they don't say anything is not because they agree with it. The fact they don't say anything is also because maybe they don't know about it. Now, hear me out. Maybe they know about it and maybe Anet agrees to close their eyes on it. But I'm going to give you my perspective. See, right now in PvP, it would be impossible for me to use, let's say, Shadowfall, because Shadowfall is like an ultimate, right? If I use Shadowfall, I need to get close to you. Now you're gonna say, oh, he's more than 600 range, so he's not gonna hurt me with Shadowfall. Wrong. If I do this, go like this, there you go. Whoops, I can still reach you. Did you see that? Did you guys see that? So now you're gonna say, well, that's bullshit. Well, yeah, that's the point of this entire video, because although it is possible, just because it's possible to do, it doesn't mean that it's legit. It just means that either Anet doesn't know about it, or either Anet closed their eyes about it. Now you're gonna say, what's the difference? Well, you guys been playing Guild Wars 2 for what, 11 years? I've been playing Guild Wars 2 for 3 years, and I've noticed some stuff. I'm not going to go too much in detail, but I've noticed that there are some stuff that Anet will close their eyes on. There are some stuff that should get a permaban and people don't get banned for that. So me, I'm like questioning myself, what is the legitimacy of the company's TOS so far? Do they uphold what they say, or they just say for saying it? And like, I don't know how they work, but it looks like there's no really confirmation on how serious they are about altering, modifying a spell. So I'm gonna show you something very fast. So this is a ReadNet, TOS part where it talks about prohibited third-party programs and alteration. We do not permit the use of any third-party software, tools, or programs that interact with the service that give one player an unintended, unnatural, or unfair advantage over another player. So I hope that you guys read that right. Any program that interacts with a service that gives you an unintended, unnatural, or unfair advantage over another player is prohibited. Third-party software tools or program include those that alter game balance in favor of one player over another, automate actions within the service, promote unintended gameplay, or have an adverse effect on other users of the services. Prohibited third-party program will be determined at our sole discretion. So here I need you to read something. Those that alter game balance in favor of one player over another. So this is like the key sentence of this entire thing. Here, Anet is actually, accentuating into anything that alter, see this word over here, alter game balance. But my question is, if they write this as if it was, something that is really significant, why is it that they allow a combination of two spell that can be executed into one spell because of a glitch that allows them to become a one new uncategorized spell burst? That is an alteration. That is an alteration. Yet, here they say that anything that alters the game's balance is prohibited. So my question to Anet right now is, why did you write this part when you know about an alteration that is going on with your own, combat mechanic? Now, hear me out. I don't know if Anet knows about it, but if Anet doesn't know about it, I'd like you to revise it and to think about what you just wrote over here. When I combine a 900 range spell with a 600 range spell, that becomes a brand new spell, aka alteration, that also benefit of both spells to become a bursty, super more powerful spell. Anet, is that an alteration to you? Would you say that it is an alteration to your game balance? If you say no, then forget everything I just said and let's just keep going. If you say yes, then you may want to reconsider what I just said, right? Because you cannot write a TOS and pretend that you care about, game balance, but then you construct or build a combat mechanic for one specific class that allows them to alter or modify two spell to become a new spell. That shouldn't be allowed. But then you say, oh, we are not allowed to alter any or modify anything. It doesn't make sense to me, Anet. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, some of you are gonna say, yeah, but they're talking about third-party software or tools or program. Okay, I have one last question for you guys. What's the difference between a prohibited third-party software, tools, or program that alters a game balance versus an in-game combat mechanic that Anet created, maybe that they didn't know about, that still alters the game balance in favor of one player over another? What's the difference? Which one is worse, guys? No, I have a better question. Which of the two is worse? The program that you need to download in order to make it to cheat, or the justified game combat mechanic, Anet, you already created, that you know about, that you have the program, that you have the power to modify or to change or to do something about, that you allow people to actually utilize those two spell to combine it to one spell, which gives high amount of advantages and is also considered as an alteration game modification. Which one is worse? I mean, come on, this is a legit question. So you need to think about this, Anet, and everybody else who's watching this video, you all need to think about this. It's very important, because if you allowed Thief to combine two spells to become one spell, then I think every other classes should be allowed to do the same thing. We should all have the same, abilities to combine two spell into one in order to benefit over the other, because the alibi of, oh, it's not a third-party program, it's a combat mechanic that you discovered, therefore we're going to close our eyes about it. Okay, so if that's the case, then how about you give us the same thing for other classes, Mechanist, Willbender, or any Guardian or Revenant or any other class. Give us something that allows us to combine two spell to become one powerful burst. I want this is what I want from Mechanist. I want my Rocket Boot and I want my Shift Signet to become a 2400 range instantaneously. While I click those two spell, I want to instantaneously teleport 2400 range because it's 1200 range, you know, with tools spec for rocket boots, and it's 1200 range for Shift Signet. So when I click these two spell, I want to have the capability to combine these two spell and teleport 2400 range right away instantaneously. Just like the Thief, that you allow to combine two spell to become one spell and combine the ranges so that they have a higher amount of range and a combination of both boons, buff, CC, and Condi damage all together into one spell, which you choose to close your eyes on. Other classes needs to have the same thing. I mean, it's just a fair deal. Am I right or wrong? So again, see this guy over there? The only way I can reach him is if I'm at 900 range, but I'm going to reach you from about here. So this is about 12, like maybe 1500 range, like here, around here. So, okay, so I'm not supposed to reach you, right? This is legit gameplay. I cannot reach you with this guy over here as well, right? Because it's 600 range. So it gives you the chance, you as an opponent, to find a way to get closer to me, right? Wrong. Look carefully. Ready? Here we go. Boom. So yeah, guys, so I just think it's kind of weird that Anet closed their eyes on it. I don't know if they know about it, but it's been going on for a while. So I'm assuming that they do know about it and they don't mind, which goes in contradiction with their TOS when they talk about alteration and modification to the game, giving an advantage to other, unfair advantage. Well, I don't know, guy, because I feel like that TOS is kind of like, you know, it's kind of like a farce, where it has been written there for what for you know, just to read, but I don't think they really I don't know if they really uphold what they write in their TOS. Anyway, I just want to point that out, and yeah, whatever happens, guys. Thanks for watching. Cheers.